what's the play? New things we may learn, for max fees we earn. One thing you can be sure, the LP Army will endure. G-Cloud and the leads to tell us of mighty deeds. Office hours is today. What's the alpha? What's the play? New things we may learn, for max fees we earn. One thing you can be sure, the LP Army will endure. G-Cloud and the leads to tell us of mighty deeds. Office hours is today. What's the alpha? What's the
Fuck yeah, man. Awesome. Love the song, HMC. It's freaking awesome, man.
Thank you.
Hey, guys.
Is that how you guys always start?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
G-Med, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. Geek Lad coming to you live here from sunny South Florida. Really happy to be with you guys this morning. We've got a special guest with us here today. Zen is joining us. And I'm just going to let Zen introduce himself. And he's here to help answer questions that you guys may have, any concerns. He's here to listen to the community.
Hey guys. Yeah. Hey everyone. First of all, it's great to be here with all of you today. First, I want to thank Geek Lab and HMC, right, for organizing this session, right. But before I introduce myself, I just want to take a moment to really recognize the incredible efforts and support from the LP Army and the wider community, right? Right, the dedication and passion I've seen from all of you is really unreal, right? And I truly appreciate it, right? And really, you're the ones who make Mitola what it is today, right? And I couldn't be more grateful, right? So for those who may not know me, my name is Zen, right? In fact, I'm one of the co-founders of Jupiter and Mitola. And for those who don't know, Mitola used to be Mercuria, right? From the very get-go, right? So I should not share too much about the history, right? History lesson. But as you all know, when the FTX crisis hit, right, we had to make the decision to rebrand Mercuria into Mitola, right? And I was the one who actually led the effort, right, to do it. Right. I also spearheaded the launch of some of our key products like the Dynamic AMM pools, Dynamic Vaults, as well as the DLMM, right? So after Ben took over Mitola, I shifted my focus over to supporting Jupiter's product development, right? So now I'm stepping back up, right? With the goal of actually stabilizing the team, helping to refocus our efforts as a community together, right? And also driving forward with technology at the core, right, of what we do, right? So yeah, that's a brief introduction of who I am, right? Gila, can I share a little bit more, right? Like some quick updates about what we have in mind on the high level roadmap and stuff like this, or is it the right time or later?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. So I think that, I mean, we all know what's the current situation, right? So my goal is definitely to provide a little bit more certainty and transparency and clarity, right, on next steps, right? Obviously today I probably wouldn't have all the answers, right? And a lot of details are still in the progress of actually finalizing, right? But I think this is probably a good time to actually share some high level ideas and direction, right, that we have in mind, right? Before the end of the week, or I think the earlier the better, right? So I can get some feedback from you guys as well, right? So, but first of all, I want to have an anchor first, right? So, it's also important to refocus everybody, right? To understand what really makes Mitola great and how we actually move forward from here, right? But what is really undeniable is that we have the strongest LP army in crypto, right? At least that's what I've seen, and Ben has always told me and said many great things about you guys, right? So the support from this community is incredible, and I'm obviously deeply grateful for the work that you have done, right? And we are the best tech in the space, right? Our LP tech is top tier. Our DL, MM, and AMM mechanisms are cutting edge, right? And our launch pools have the potential to be the best in the industry, right? And of course, moving forward, we have to really focus on, refocus on boosting our technology, right? We need to execute better, innovate faster, and focus on what really truly matters. Okay. So how do we move ahead from here, right? So like what I mentioned, right? We want to focus on what really made us great, right? The strategy moving forward is simple. It's really refocusing everything, right? We double down on what made Meteora great in the first place, which is the technology, right, and the community, right? This means a few things, right? Number one is really prioritizing cleaning up our current products and pushing forward with new updates, right? So we have very exciting new updates like on the DLMM V2 front, right? So I know now there's a lot of feedback on, you're unable to open, when you open positions, you need to open multiple positions, right? Because of the 69 bin limitations, right? DLMM V2 can actually solve that problem, right? But it's something that we need to work very closely with the team to ensure that there's a very smooth transition to that new product, the new version, right? We also want to improve launch mechanisms, right? As you know, now on top of actually focusing on building up our liquidity systems, we also focus on pool launchers mechanism, right? But moving forward, we're actually going to change that, right? We're going to change that, right? So launch pads, everything will actually be moved under the umbrella of Jupiter, so that Meteora can actually focus on actually just focusing on the technology, on building up the technology for liquidity systems, right? So token launches will be all done via Jupiter, so that we can actually focus on our end, right? So let me see. Yeah, so basically the reason why we want to split is because we believe that this division of focus will really allow both platforms, Jupiter and Meteora, right, to operate at their best, right? They are the best, right? Provide the most value to the users, projects, and liquidity providers. Yeah. So and I also want to share a little bit about how I see my role is, right, moving forward, right. So beyond the roadmap, right, I think the keyword for me is really empowerment, right. So there are three parts, right. One is empowering the users, right. We will create better documentations, right, and clear direct feedback channels, right, so that the users can easily share insights of what needs to be improved, right. We want to empower you guys, LP Army, right. It shouldn't GigLab or HMC shouldn't be like asking me for permission, right, to do stuff, right. Right. You guys should be the LP Army leads, the LP Army, and the key contributors should have a lot more influence in shaping the direction of the LP Army and the community, right? Because I believe that you guys are actually in better position to know what's best for the community, right? And then finally is the developers, right? So we'll continue to build the best developer tools, right? So that developers can seamlessly build on top of our tech. Okay, so those are just the high level direction, right? That we want to move. Obviously, the devil is in the details, right? So that's why we're actually gathering the whole entire Meteora team together, right? So we're working for the next 1 or 2 weeks, right, to actually nail down all the details so that we can actually have a very concrete execution plan moving forward, right? The best way to actually get out of this crisis, right, is actually to start shipping again, right? And then if we work together well, right, we can come out of this crisis stronger than before. Yeah, so that's my plea to you guys, right? Because we can't do this alone, right? So definitely need you guys to actually help to rally the community behind this as well. Yeah. So basically that's my very brief update. Yeah. So I'll hand over back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Zen. That's LP Army definitely wants to keep things moving forward, continue to advance the platform, do everything we can to support the Meteora team, and really get things moving and keep things going in the right direction. Travis Finch actually has a good question here, Zen, that maybe you can help address. So he's asking if it means Meme 3.3 will no longer be supported by Meteora.
Yeah, so let me clarify. So there are two parts for Meme 3.3, right? So there's the platform and there's the token, right? So now the challenge is because these two have been associated together very tightly. So let me address the platform first. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, our goal is to really focus back on our core technology, which is our liquidity pools, right? DLMM, I think. So yeah, so the plan here is actually to slowly sunset the M33 mechanism, right, in few phases, right? The first phase will be we're going to put M33 into what you call it, maintenance mode, where we allow withdrawals only, right? And subsequently, we will actually remove it altogether, right, from the site itself, and then refocus all our attention efforts towards DLMM, our launch pools, and Dynamic AMM. As for the token itself, that's a little bit more tricky, right? The reason why it's tricky is because we are actually not the creators of the M33 token, right? I'm sure you guys are aware of that, right? So when we launch it, we actually it's not launched by Meteora, right? So we don't really have direct control over its supply or distribution, right? And so that does limit some of our options in terms of like how we handle it, right? But with that said, right, we are actually in the process of exploring different ways how we can move forward from this, right? And yeah, so I don't really have a very concrete answer for the token itself, right? Just rest assured that we will be committed to transparency and share more updates as soon as we have more concrete steps on that. Yeah. So I hope that answers partially, right, your question.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. Essentially, we don't, and I say we, definitely not the LP Army, but also the Meteora team. They do not control the supply of the Meme33 token, right? That was a separate group that launched the token. But yeah, platform is going to remain in maintenance mode. So, I wouldn't expect any new features or anything new coming to Meme33. Just kind of, it's going to stay there as it is, and ultimately the platform will be sunset.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I just if I can briefly ask the question and introduce myself just briefly, if you have time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to first of all, hello Jen, hello everyone. I'm Gosha. I'm one of the main moderators for LP Army, and I wanted to kind of ask about what you said about Launchpad. So before this, before LPG tech stack, so the launch on Meteor were announced. Before this, LPG Launchpad was under Jupyter, and are we moving in the so it was kind of, if I know this correctly, it was moved from LPG Launchpad to LPG tech stack on Meteor. So is it moving back to the Launchpad, or how will it work? So just maybe you have any details on this. If I may.
Yeah. From technical detail wise, we are still working it out, but on the high level, yeah, so you can imagine that it's going to be a clean split, right, between Meteora, in terms of the responsibility of launching tokens. So you can imagine on the Launchpad will be solely hosted on, like, the front end of the UI will be hosted on Jupyter, right? So all token launchers, all projects who want to launch tokens, be it Kickstarter, using an alpha board or using LFG mechanisms, ILM, whatever, will all go through Jupyter, right? So Jupyter will be responsible for, managing or coordinating with the project teams, finding deployers or whatnot, right, to actually support the project teams. Right? So Meteora is very simple, right? For us, we just have to make sure that the Meteora pools, the DLMM, our launch pools, we continue to innovate, right? We continue to create the kind of mechanisms that can really support the transition of the tokens from the launchpad to the pools itself, right? Does it make sense? Did I answer your question?
Yes, it does. It does. So following up on this. So before this, we know that there's new dynamic positions which will be bigger than 69 DINs are coming, and they were promised for a long time. But I presume because of MCMC and other initiatives, it was it was slowly developed. So will this update be will it speed up basically the development of this update and anything new on this front?
You're referring to the DRMM dynamic position, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah. So the tricky part there was actually on, because it's a new program. So initially we were a bit hesitant on actually migrating liquidity over, because usually when you have a new program you have to migrate liquidity. And it's about 1 billion of liquidity, so we are a bit hesitant on doing that. But we are trying to figure out the best way to do it. So in moving forward, we might have two existing programs ongoing in parallel. Anyway, long story short, yes, I mean, so with all the M33 everything out of the way, my job here, right, because I'll be focusing a lot on the tech. Yeah, my job here is to actually help to focus the team as well, and we will prioritize updating this part. And deploy it and roll it out as soon as possible. Actually, the tech, the development and the code for that is actually more or less ready, right? It's more of deciding exactly how we're going to roll it out for the users. Yeah. So we should have some updates on that pretty soon regarding the dynamic positions.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are excited and anxious about that feature for sure.
Yep. Me too. Yeah, it's very annoying to have to open like 10 positions every time, and it's extremely difficult to manage all 10 positions. Yeah. I'm very aware of that issue. Yeah.
So then I think some people want a clarification on whether if withdrawals will be possible on the M3 platform, because people are still asking that question. Could you clarify with if that will continue to be possible?
If what? Sorry, I didn't catch that. If what will be possible?
With withdrawals on M3.
Yes, definitely. So when I mean maintenance mode, I'm referring to that. We're probably not going to allow people to create new pools or create new bots, right? And it will only allow for people to withdraw. Yes, definitely. Yeah, people should be allowed to withdraw it. Yeah. We will not stop
sure,
that.
absolutely. Yeah.
So the UI will remain there to allow anybody to withdraw.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. No, I think that's good. I think you addressed that one. So I know there was a new feature that that made it out, I think, this week. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. So they added this really nice indicator here that shows not only whether your position is in range or not, but it shows like sort of a preview of the shape of your liquidity and where the current price is related to that. So you can see I've got two positions here in JLP Sol. One of them I've got the price is partially in range, and you can actually see here in the preview that I am holding both JLP and Sol in the position, and you can see you can actually kind of tell it's a bit of a spot with a bid ask on top of it. And of course, if you expand it, you can see that is indeed the case. And this is super nice. And then, so for positions that are in range, you'll see the current price with the little green bar indicating where the price is for that position. And then if you're out of range, you'll see a yellow bar, and then the yellow bar will either be, on the upper end of the range or the lower end of the range, depending on where the price is relative to your position. And again, here you can see sort of the little indicator. You can see it's, again, a bid ask with a spot on top of it. When you expand it, you can see it here. So really nice new feature that was added this week.
Yeah, just to add on that. Yeah, so because like now we have the limitation of having to create really like quite a number of positions, right, for price range. So this is also to help the users to immediately visualize like which are the positions they can actually close, right, if it's really out of position, right, or whatnot, right. So that's also one thing. But once we have the dynamic position in, yeah, it probably can help all this like in a proper way.
Yeah. So let's just get this spread. LGTB, thank you for joining the call. He's suggesting, perhaps it might be better to hold a separate call to talk about the Meme33 launch pad. So probably not a bad idea, Zen,
yep.
to maybe have a
Totally
separate call
agree.
to address that. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, the first thing is probably to have a official kind of announcement, right, on that as well, just to be clear, to clarify, and then we could organize a separate call, just to update on this front as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Yeah, for sure.
It's a good suggestion. Okay. Yeah, and I think there's going to be definitely a lot of questions that arise regarding, the future of Meme33. So I think an announcement and then a separate call to discuss it, definitely a good idea. So what else is going on, guys? HMC, what's new in your world?
Well, it is busy with boot camps. I am trying to wrap up grading for the Turkish boot camp that happened the beginning of the month. I just assigned 666 new trainee roles. You couldn't have picked a better number, but
Couldn't have like one less or one more, graduate.
it's the most metal number you can choose. But so anyway, yeah, there was 666 new Turkish trainees added, finishing up the grading. So hopefully I get those done here real soon. The English boot camp closes today here in a few hours is for the form submissions. Those will and I'll get to working on those. I don't know how many thousands of those I have. But yeah, that's happening. And then Portuguese, they had theirs Wednesday and Thursday because like Brazil, they don't attend classes on weekends. They party. So they did theirs during the middle of the week. They had several thousands of people watching. So that's happening. Those forms will close, of course, next Thursday. And then report that French boot camp is actually, they had day 1 yesterday, and day 2 is here in 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours. So they're having their day 2. So it's 4 boot camps this month. So that means I'm busier than a cat covering poop on a marble floor. But it's all awesome because we're just growing the LP Army and teaching people how to use the DLMM and all this stuff. So yeah,
Love it. Awesome, man. Yeah, I been thinking about doing another Spanish boot camp. I've been talking with 10 a.m. Pro. They're a Spanish podcast. I've been a guest on their podcast a couple of times and been trying to coordinate with them a time to do another one. So I'm hoping to do one soon, and then maybe after that, shortly after, we'll do another Spanish boot camp. So prepárate, Photon Magic. We're gonna do it again, man.
right on.
Sounds good, brother.
Awesome.
Español.
Español para los
Some
Latinos.
homework to do.
Yeah. So we had HMC, we had like 100, 200 Spanish graduates on the first one that we did.
It was
a
over
little bit shy
200.
of 200. It was at over 200, yeah.
Yeah, over 200. Oh, I know people, they've been asking about their compressed NFTs, the graduation certificates for January. I've sent those off. I'm not going to call the guy out. It's not on him, but I send it off to the guy who generates and does all those for me. He told me he's getting it done this week. Hopefully by Friday he'll have those pushed out. I sent like almost 8,000 wallets to him to handle. So yeah, it's gonna take him a hot minute to get that done. So that'll come out, and I think I've got the process figured out so that I can get these done a little bit faster. But part of what I do is I don't send those out right away, because there's always people like they've joined the server late, and then I'm adding roles after the fact, and so there's lots of checks. So I want to do one single batch, so I give it some time to let people get caught up for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. How many cohorts are going to be in that group? Is it
That'll
just
be
January.
Yeah, the all of January. So the
Okay.
English and the Spanish.
Okay, great. All right, awesome. And then likely another one for February, because you're going to have a lot to collect from February.
Right.
as
Yeah,
well.
that'll be separate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome. So Travis is asking if there's an application page for developers if they want to help develop with the Met team. I don't think there is per se. Certainly, I've been working to try to encourage builders to build their own tools around the Meteora ecosystem, and particularly DLMM. And so I try on a weekly basis to set up a showcase with a builder that's building a great tool. In fact, earlier today we did a session with Meteor AI, and they had an opportunity to show off what they've been doing. They've been doing some really, really cool stuff. I think it was the week before we did Ultra LP, we did Cleopatra Fun. I think a couple of weeks before that, we also took a look at Starseed. So there's a lot of really cool tools out there. If you're a builder and you're interested in kind of meeting with me, showing me what you guys have done, just reach out to me on X. I'm GeekLad on X, or you can reach out to me on Discord. I'm GeekLad on Discord, and or on Telegram. Reach out to me on Telegram. I'm GeekLad on Telegram. You can reach out to me on any of those platforms. Kind of talk to me about what you're doing, and we could do sort of a private demo, or you can give me access to the tool. I'll take a look and poke around and see if you're worthy of doing a demo live on the Meteora X, and I'll be really happy to arrange that with you guys. Of course, I also develop my own tools, and which are open source for anyone to build on top of and utilize. So any questions related to that, please feel free to reach out to me. I think one of these days we're gonna have to do a demo of Metlex. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not even necessary because everybody uses it. Everybody knows how to use it. But I think it'd be cool. One of these days, maybe we'll do a Metlex demo and give Alex a chance to show it off, or have Mario show it off for him, or anybody else, because there's a lot of folks using Metlex to do awesome stuff. Alex says no chance. He wants me to pay him. Oh man. No, sorry, Alex, I can't pay you. And actually, on that point, I will not pay anybody, right? So these are unpaid, right? Just allows folks an opportunity to show off all the great work that they're doing on the with the Meteora platform. And these are third-party tools. They're not directly associated with Meteora. So it's just builders like me and builders like Alex building on top of the platform and doing cool things.
It's literally just free advertisement, so it's a win-win in any
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, definitely free advertisement for sure. But we don't just showcase anybody, right? We want to make sure it's a well-polished tool, not something that's going to rug. et cetera, et cetera. So, we want to
For
make sure
sure.
they're legitimate tools.
Yes. So we've had two questions so far about MET, the token itself, because obviously MET has been a big part of Meteor's brand over the past year. Now that we've kind of had a big flush up in things, maybe you could kind of clarify then whether like the plans around MET, the TGE for the future.
The Met token, right? The TG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a affirmative at least timeline for MET. And the reason is this. The key thing is the what do you call it? The point system. The point system. For me, the key thing is getting the point system right. Right. So yeah, because from my understanding, right, the point system still needs some work, right? It's too broad now and unfairly rewards launch pools over long-term LP providers, right? So we are working very closely with the team, right? And it's one of the priorities, right, to see how we can have a fair system, right? One that rewards real engagement, consistent participation, and true contributions. That is not trivial, right? So we really need to put in a lot of effort. So that's why just now I mentioned about really refocusing our efforts, right? So these are all the core things that we really need the resources to put in, right? So we need a lot of time and effort to actually create a system that is really covers all aspects, right, and really be fair to all our real users, right? So we need input from our team as well as community. So only after that is done can we finalize the TG timeline. So unfortunately, I don't have a timeline on top of my head, right? But we will keep you updated, right? And my top priority will definitely be seeing how we can move forward with the point system. Yeah, I hope that answers the question, right? But that to me is the main thing that is actually blocking the TG. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know at one point we were talking about addressing the points earned by token launchers as well, right? So a lot of tokens that have launched, obviously they generate tons and tons of volume on the platform, and so that sort of really skews the points that they're earning compared to standard users. So I know one thing that we had discussed, I don't think we ever really formalized it in terms of a proposal on the proposal site, is carving out some portion of the 10% specifically for token launchers, and then the remaining portion. And I think some of the numbers we had thrown out was, maybe 30% of the 10%, right, or 3% of the total would be allocated to token launchers, and then the remaining 70% or 7% of the total would be allocated towards standard liquidity providers.
I disagree, GeekLab. But that also brings up a very important point. Like, I think the requirements should be discussed, amongst the community. I really do. But yeah, I do disagree with your take, GeekLab. I honestly think that launchers shouldn't get any points, but that's just my personal opinion. And obviously, we will or we should discuss this in the future for sure. Because all of us may have like different ideas towards a future TGE.
Yeah, no, and I think it's important that we have an open dialogue about it, and the community decide, right? It shouldn't be any one person making that decision. We need to make that decision as a group, which I think that's something that I think the Jupiter team did very, very effectively leading up to the Jupe launch. So I don't see the Meteor launch being any different. It really needs to be the community that decides what we need to do.
Jupiter is a pain in the ass. it took the guys to I don't know how many months to actually get the numbers and all the system right. Yeah, so it's not a trivial exercise, but I think we want to prioritize fairness and make sure that all the right people are being awarded. Yeah, so that is actually one of the key things that we need to focus on. Yeah, I do agree definitely that we need to get the community very involved in this conversation. Just that for now, my understanding is that we don't really have a very official DAO, right, to actually do voting. So, but I guess we already have a proposal. So I guess the next best thing is to really have another version or another updated proposal that we can share with you guys, right? And then we can go from there.
Awesome. All right. Otto, haven't heard from you, man. What's new in your world?
I was just wondering about the who is the contact or what's the right route for folks that we're launching? Like now that it's over underneath Jupiter, is there a pathway there that we should inform folks about?
We haven't formalized that part yet. I'll let you know. Yeah, we haven't formalized that part. In fact, this coming week is where we're going to work very closely with Jupiter as well, right, to formalize the whole process. Yeah.
Okay.
Good question,
Well-
Otto. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe just some clarification on this. Following up on this, what Otto said, I think one of the problems which kind of was highlighted by recent events is that it was like the launch things were not really productized, so it was really hard to do by like even devs were struggling to do like the launches by themselves, and
Yep.
so will the focus be on actually making it like making a product which will not require it actually that doesn't require now, but it will not require much support from IT specialists from Meteor and Jupiter on the launches, because this kind of important considering the event which happened.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. That's actually one of our top priorities as well, to productize and to make it easy for anybody who come in, right, to have a UI, have a front end to set up stuff, right. The front end could be primarily on Jupiter, right. So someone can come in, they can set up they can choose whether they want to lock their tokens. They can choose what kind of mechanism to use. Like for example, they want a Kickstarter, they want an alpha board, they want to use the LFG mechanism. So we want to create this system whereby anybody come in can easily go through a flow and be able to set up the token launch, right, with as minimal intervention as possible, right. Obviously, there are some things that people might need some support, like how do I actually decide what IRM curve to use, right? What configuration should I set? But by and large, we want to get to a stage whereby yes, anybody can just come in and be able to set up their own launchpad or their own token launch. Yeah. So that is the top priority. Yeah, one of the things that we definitely want to do.
Nice, thank you.
Yep. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest challenge is trying to make that sniper resistant, right? To sort of discourage or eliminate the sort of behavior that arose to the situations of recent events, right?
Yeah. AlphaBot was actually built to prevent that, though. Yeah. But I agree. We definitely need to think hard about what are the other ways they can do to actually discourage or to minimize, right, sniping. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Any of course, any solutions or any suggestions from you guys will definitely be helpful. Yeah. On that front.
For sure. Yeah, I think trying to prevent it with technology is a tremendous challenge, right? And because it's human nature, right? That they really want to pump these things, right? So you do a fair launch, and if you do a fair launch perfectly with no sniping, the chart looks like a flat line, right?
Yep.
Everybody buys at a fair price, and that price fluctuates some, but you don't have a launch that looks like this and then comes back down again. So people that are launching tokens, they want to be on that end that where it skyrockets, and then they want to dump, and it's a tough nut to crack. It's a very difficult problem to solve.
Yeah, I agree. The last time when we did our Jupiter TGE, we also don't have a very good solution, but we just basically set the initial price high. We set the initial price high. Hopefully that will dissuade a lot of initial snipers, right? And then even if snipers come in, users who come in later, they will not be like very badly penalized because they will still be able to get it at a reasonable price. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But we definitely need a different way to actually do that. Yeah, not sure what it is yet. Yeah, but it's something that we definitely need to look into.
Yeah. And I guess the biggest problem is it's very difficult to estimate demand properly, right? So, you know, you set that initial price too high and then you have nobody buying the token and you have no volume. You set it too low, then you have the pump and dump problem. So
Yep.
it's kind of striking that balance of figuring out, you know, really properly trying to come up with a good estimate on what the demand is going to be for the token so that you can do a fair launch.
Yep. Yeah. For sure.
Then will you continue to have influence over the launchpad even though it's moving over to Jupiter, or will it be managed as a separate unit in Jupiter?
I mean, Meteora and Jupiter will be working pretty closely together. Yeah. So I would not say influence but we're working together. We will see what are the things that Meteora or Jupiter needs, and then we'll be really working closely together. And obviously, the feedback from the Meteora community will actually be funneled to Jupiter, right? So yeah, I would say that we're working as an entire team, right? So it's not like a Meteora thing and a Jupiter thing. Yeah, it's an entire tech stack, right? Flow from Jupiter all the way to Meteora. So yeah, I would say definitely if there's something there's great feedback, or there's something that will affect Meteora, and that whatever Jupiter does that will help Meteora, definitely Jupiter would actually be taking that into consideration. Yeah.
By the way, just maybe a little bit about the tech of peoples, because we discuss like this with dynamic positions a lot, and like when, if I understand correctly, the migration is actually coming, so we will be migrating the liquidity. And are there anything else, or like I know there's like a new fee tiers, so now we have like bean step and fee combinations which are not optimal. I believe it has already been worked on, and it's coming from with dynamic positions. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah. By the way, back to the first question, we might not be migrating liquidity, but I'll update you guys again. Yeah.
So it's possible to not migrate. So it's possible that we will not have any migrations. Oh, that's actually cool.
We have to figure it out, because I am really worried about migrating 1 billion. So we have to work that. That's why the deployment process is important. So we can work something out. That thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it may not be may not
sure.
be worth the effort of allowing
No.
people to migrate positions. It's easy enough just to close the position and open a new one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually did one. We actually did one round before, if I'm not wrong. We actually just basically post a note to get people to close and open your position. But this round is probably the amount is a bit too huge for us to do that. But anyway, I'll be discussing with the team now. So we will keep you guys updated on the DRM V2 upgrade part. So don't worry about it.
So I know there were some features which are not in the works but were suggested, and I'm just trying to I just want to know if there's anything else like you like something little which you already discussed with team and you are planning to roll out after this big update. Are there any plans on anything?
Gosha wants alpha. That's what I'm hearing. Gosha wants
Yes, I do.
Drop the CA, Gosha.
From what I understand, it's not major updates, right? We do want to support token 2022. That's probably the next update that we're going to roll out. And then the rest of the efforts are actually on making sure that the dynamic positions is done. Yeah. That's the key thing. And the rest of the efforts is also to be creating the new token launch mechanism, right, together with Jupiter. So those are actually our immediate focus. Yeah. But before I came back, right, I'm sure there are other updates that are in the pipeline, right? But let me give you guys another update after I talk to the team again, right, to really get a very clear idea of what are the things in the pipeline, and we can reprioritize, right, together with the team, right. But those high level priorities still stay, right, in terms of dynamic positions as well as the launchpad. Yeah.
And token
But if
20.
there's any, token 22, yeah, correct. But if there's any other things that you guys, because you guys are very close to the users, right, the LPs, if there's anything that you feel are extremely critical, or there are certain things that can really improve the user experience, please continue to let us know, because that has really driven a lot of our decision, our product decisions, right, on and priorities as well. So I would love for that to continue, right, because that's extremely helpful.
I actually think I have something to propose. I think it was already talked about extensively, but because dynamic positions are kind of much more important, and I agree, probably it is the most important update we have seen in the last year I'm here. It's probably the most important update. But I think there was a request to have custom strategies. So now we have like an option to kind of layer on like spots, curve, and BS positions.
Yeah, right.
Yes, and kind of what was talked about, at least I remember it's being talked about, having an opportunity to kind of make your own custom strategy and open up with it already. So I think that's kind of I'm not sure it's possible, but it's it will be very useful if it can be done.
So Gosha, for example, like a 50% spot and then a 50% bid ask, something like that.
Yes. And actually also like you have this strategy, which is I think it's kind of I'm not sure how it's called, but I call it like a toothbrush strategy, where you have like spot, and then you have bid ask positions, but it is not strictly from the start, but you have like some space where it's only spot position, and so if there's a possibility to customize each bin, so kind of make it not so customizing
like
each bin.
every other bin or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can basically do it once and have like a preset which you can employ. I think that is kind of that will be helpful, because you can do it in one transaction. So you don't need to do 2 transactions per like to lay it on basically every time. And you can and like if I want to put like let's say I want to put a bid ask into my position, but if I do this, I do it from the start of the position. I can't start it from the middle of my position, and I need to do kind of a new. I can do this by making a new position and starting a new range, but that means you have 2 positions. And I think considering we have like a little calm market now. So before this, there's a lot of high frequency meme stuff. It will be great to focus on something which is improving basically day-to-day experience on this. And I think that's in the future it may be very helpful, at least for me. I'm sure everyone has an opinion on this, but I'm pretty sure with most of people who I know how they LP, because we're kind of I know some says something which Geeklet does, something which Heavy Metal Cook does, because they show it all the time. So I think it will be helpful for everyone.
I don't know there'd be enough transaction space to be able to do it in an atomic transaction, but I think Zen, I think we could, the UI could do it in multiple transactions, much the same way where, if you want to open up more than 69 bins, the UI will, do multiple transactions, and then if it fails, you can click the retry, and it'll retry. I do like the idea of custom strategies. I think that's something that would be quite useful, because I know a lot of people, do like to do a 50% spot and then a 50% bid ask, or like Gosha was saying, the toothbrush strategy, where maybe you every other bin or something like that. If you could do it with multiple transactions versus atomically, or you could try to do it as a Jito bundle, and then sort of would be air quotes atomic, multiple transactions, but they would be bundled in a Jito bundle, so either all fail or all pass. That might be another option as well.
Got it. Yeah. The tricky part is to manage all the separate transactions, right? With one fail and one pass, all those things. But yeah, definitely. To add a layer of customization, and probably be able to save that as a template, right? That you can reuse again. I imagine it will be interesting to share your strategy with the community as well. Everybody can compare strategies. Right?
That would be
Imagine that
cool
would be
too.
quite good.
Yeah, being able to share
Yeah,
those
that'll be,
templates would be fantastic. Yeah.
yeah. So it could be fun. It will be fun. Yeah, sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me. I already penned this down. I've noted this down. And I will share with the team. Let me discuss with the team and see the viability of it. Right. And obviously we will have to prioritize accordingly. Yeah. But your request has been noted. Thanks.
Awesome. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the suggestion and feedback. Yeah. Please keep them coming. Yeah.
So I'm getting pinged a bunch in the chat. People have certain questions here. Let me pull this up. Just people basically asking for things like auto rebalance, auto compound, and it's been my understanding that really that this is not the focus of the team, but I'll let you address this for them.
Yeah, correct. It's not. I mean, currently not our focus. Yeah, I mean, that's why. We actually, I think this is something that Camino is doing, right? Auto balance, right? I'm not very familiar with the tech here, but from previously wanted to do it. But I understand that it's more of a technical limitation. Yeah, that it makes it very tricky to do. Yeah. So
Yeah, there's a lot of overhead with it as well because you have to constantly monitor.
Correct, and
lots of
rebalance, and
yeah, there's a lot of challenges there.
So correct. I'm not sure whether that will be our top priority, but definitely something I can revisit with the team, right? Because this definitely would be cool to have. Right? We did have some ideas previously, but we just didn't really have the bandwidth and to yeah.
So not completely out of the realm of possibilities, but probably not anytime soon.
Correct. Accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Does that the APIs will make it easier to develop the tools? I honestly don't have a good answer for this. I have to check in. I don't know.
I mean, there is an SDK out there for a TypeScript, JavaScript SDK. I have used it, and it's quite good. The documentation is pretty good as well. So, Peaky.eth, I would recommend starting there, and take a look at it and see what you're able to do. I mean, obviously there are teams out there that have been using the SDK to develop tools. Hawkfi is a great example of that. They've taken it to kind of another level, and they've been using the documentation to develop their tools, and there's definitely other devs out there doing that. So I would highly recommend taking a look at the TypeScript, JavaScript SDK and taking a look at the documentation starting there.
Yep, for sure. Just that I don't know whether we're going to have any API support soon. Probably not.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I would say, doing it through APIs. I mean, that's more infrastructure that you guys have to manage, and
Correct.
I think it's easy. It's easy enough for developers to do it themselves with the SDK. Whoops. We're both clicking it at the same time. So there's the link to the documentation. So.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the builders out there are using the SDK now to build their tools. So, and it's quite good. I actually built my own bot. Wow, it was a while ago. It was probably a year ago, but I never felt like it was good enough for me to actually release the code or do anything with it. But it's definitely possible to do, and the documentation's all there to help you do it. All right. HMC, what do you think? You think we call it a day here?
I
An
mean, I
hour
guess
long?
we're getting a lot of the same questions. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people quite upset over meme 3.3.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, we'll address questions. Well, Zen and the team will address questions
Yeah.
in an announcement about meme 3.3 and as well as a separate call. I think it's a good idea to do that separately because there's definitely a lot of questions to be answered there.
Yeah. We'll do a separate thing altogether. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Yeah, but give us some time to come out with a concrete next steps, right, for things. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
that feels like a loaded question right there.
Batman.
Hey Zen, one of the things I don't know if it's not really marketing, but one of the things that the community was quite excited about was how much volume was coming out of small amounts of capital with these meme 3.3 launches. I'm sorry, not meme 3.3, with Meteor launches and generally Solana token launches on Solana.
Mhm.
And it was a point of emphasis for Ben because it was the kind of promise of Meteora to create long tail pools of capital that retail could participate in that would enable large scale launches and volume flows in DeFi. It still seems, I don't know how much you see the future of Meteora promoting and kind of incentivizing that, but it did seem like a pretty valuable and important message, and obviously played out with respect to the all-time swap volume numbers and so forth on Meteora, particularly with the Trump launch and all that. So I'm hoping we can continue to capture that and keep that kind of message out there. It seemed like a really big, important differentiating factor for Meteora relative to other dexes. So
Yeah.
I don't know how to incorporate that into your future planning and discussions with Jupiter with respect to Launchpad responsibilities and so on. But it seems that one message I feel pretty strongly should continue forward with the Meteora strategic plan.
Yep. So just to clarify, so you're referring to really catering for the smaller project launches as well, right? It's not only so the launchpad shouldn't be catered only for big boys, right? You should actually cater for long tail of launches as well. Is that your the key thing that you're talking about?
Yeah, well, I think that you've already mentioned that the Launchpad will continue to be more of a product, get productized so that it's easier for smaller guys. I was more
Correct.
referring to the other side of that, which is the liquidity provision, which helps the LMMs and the LP army. So the ability to have retail provide volume at a massive scale so that we're not reliant on centralized exchanges to launch tokens. That was a recent very big win for Meteora. I'm sure GeekLad and so on, others can clarify my remarks, but the general idea is there's a liquidity and launch process involving centralized exchanges that is broken, and Meteora was fixing that by aggregating smaller amounts of capital from retail into large volumes. And this is something that's very crypto and only possible on Solana, but also only has been evidenced on Jupiter from what I've seen. And a real important brand difference for Meteora relative to, say, Orca or some of the other ones, and obviously very different from professional market makers like Wintermute and so on. and holds some of the promise of crypto in it. And so I hope that remains a priority for you and for Meteora going forward.
Certainly. I don't think we are here to build for the big boys, right? And I totally agree that we can allow, like you mentioned, the retail liquidity to support to come in as well. I think that's actually very important. Totally
Awesome.
in agreement. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, because that's the LP Army's bread and butter as well, of course.
That's really like almost the definition of the LP Army, really, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
I
I think that's a great point, Otto, and I think I foresee that the Meteora team will continue to empower the LP Army and allow the little guy to win and because you get enough minnows together, right? You've got a mass that's big enough to become a whale. So I really like that idea.
Well said. Totally. Yeah. We are here always to support the LP Army. Yeah, we are actually part of the LP Army, I would always say. Yeah, so for sure, 100%. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's probably most of the questions we've got. I know there's a lot of questions still surrounding the Meme33 platform and Zen and team. Obviously they've got a lot to think about, and we need to be patient, give them a little bit of time to get their gather their thoughts and put out some information. And I think holding a call to discuss that further is definitely a good idea. So.
Yep. We are here. We are listening, and we are committed to wrapping up all the loose ends and moving forward. Yeah. So that's my promise to you guys.
Awesome. Well, Zen, we really appreciate you jumping on the community call with us today. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you providing some clarity on the questions you were able to answer, and we appreciate your candor and letting us know the questions you're not able to answer at this point in time, and we look forward to getting more answers in the near future.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah. In a pool of meteor, watch me swim, swap a bed, I just keep it going. I'm kinda like I'm reading orders. Depth pool, got a fight in it full of high hopes. Look at my flow, DLM man, keep it liquid, it's never not so. Hold up like whoa, talking about slippers, bro, I don't even know that hoe. Easy in this pizza, they get fees, a little bacon, start the vault until the cheese is done. Fools are paying me like I don't even go to beaches, rather be here on the feet or something. Best believe it's decent, wavy man, I see secret chillin' in the deep end with it. Every weekend, see me, you can depend on it, cause I mean it. Coming up, you can even find a way to flood it up. You done enough, 10% stimulate and run it up. Point system looking like a flying where they won't miss a solid contribution. Could've pointed out enough. I met up with Matt, had a really good chat. He's telling me bet LP Army does laps, that orbit does this meteor setting when no one's expecting and we watching it happen, hey. In a pool of meteor, watch me swim, swap a bed, I just keep it going. I'm kinda like I'm reading orders. Depth pool, got a fight in it full of high hopes. Look at my flow, DLM man, keep it liquid, it's never not so. Hold up like whoa, talking about slippers, bro, I don't even know that hoe. Easy in the fees, they get fees, a little bacon, start the vault,